no doggone tomorrow, fellas. What are you gonna bring to the doggone church? Are you gonna bust somebody in their mouth? Are you gonna do your doggone job? Are you gonna pray from your doggone chest? Are you gonna pray from your heart and get everything you doggone got? Cause I'ma do that.
Basically, move everybody down, further out.
You want to go down there right where he is, or what?
I don't think we're allowed past this point. We'll start doing something. So we can probably do it from this angle. It seems closer.
All smiles here in South Philadelphia. Number one, the prodigal son back on the practice field. Take a look at this video of him on the practice field. We're looking for three things specifically. Number one, how is he moving and how is he running? He was moving and running with a normal level of confidence. His feet and balance looked great. How was he throwing the football? Number two, ball was coming out of his hand, crisp and clean, had plenty of velocity. The trajectory, the rotation on the ball was his normal self. And then three, balance. You can see a drill where he is straddling a 4x4 blocking dummy on the ground, and you see a trainer and ball boy showing him which direction to throw the football. And that, when you look at this 5-step phase of the concussion protocol, let's throw up the graphic that we had designed for NFL Live. He's somewhere in between number 4 and 5. And balance is a big issue in 4 and 5 going forward as to whether he's going to get back onto the field. He has to be tested for neurocognitive and balance testing. That should be completed no later than the end of phase 4, which is what he is in approximately right now, with results interpreted back to his normal baseline test. And then number 5, as you can see there on the screen, he has to be cleared by the Eagles doctors and then the independent neurological consultant before he can get back onto the field again and be ready to play the Green Bay Packers. It's only Wednesday. He's got practice Thursday. They have practice Friday, walkthrough Saturday, late game on Sunday. Plenty of time for him to get ready to play against the Packers in the late game on Sunday.
Numbness in your hand gone away?
Yep.
How soon after the game ended?
Pretty much by the next day, like he was feeling back normal, a little bit less numbing.
So your grip on the ball felt fine today?
Yeah.
Is it the funny bone? I mean, like everybody's had happened. Yeah. Nothing funny about it.
No, definitely not.
So you're playing Sunday?
See, yeah, I'm hopeful.
Hey Jordan, I didn't hear the first part, but do you have feeling back in? Is it back fully or
Yes.
close?
Yes.
So Jordan, why did they limit you?
Just based on my hand, getting back to it.
So if the feeling's back, does it still hurt in any way, or how is it affecting you at practice today?
Yeah, it's more my elbow. Just covering that.
Soreness.
Yes.
Is it hurt when you throw? Like, do you feel it when you're throwing?
Yeah.
So Christian Watson, tough injury. And so talk about how these guys need to step up to the kind of role that he's played for you.
Yeah, I mean, big time role for us, for sure. So that's a huge loss. It's one of those ones that it sucks. You hurt for Christian, especially at this time of the year. But like you said, definitely, other guys are gonna have to step up. We got a deep receiver room. Guys have kind of done that all year. We've battled through different injuries, guys missing games, things like that. So it's just another situation that guys will step up and make plays, and we're confident in that group.
When you saw these guys, the Eagles week 1 in Brazil, did you have any inkling that this would end up being the number 1 defense in the league?
Yeah, I mean, when we played them week 1, we knew what kind of team they were, based on last year. And, they're a really good defense. They've got really good players over there. So, obviously, we played them. We saw what they're about. And, we did some good things that game. But, they're a really good defense, really sound. It's one of those games that everybody's got to be at their best.
Did you cut loose today, or do you have to wait until later in the week to try to
What was that?
did you cut loose today, or do you need to wait till later in the week to do that?
Yeah, we'll wait till later in the week.
If you had to cut loose today, do you think you could have?
Cut loose, as in?
Just let her rip.
Yeah, I'll throw, my normal, I don't know what you mean by that, sorry.
Will you have to wear any protection on it during the game, do you think, on the elbow?
I'm not sure right now. We'll see. We'll kind of judge how it feels doing that, wearing padding, things like that, so we'll see.
You did have padding on it today, though?
No.
You did not?
Jordan, as much as you like to continue to talk about your elbow, I'm curious about what you did in last year's playoff game against the Cowboys. There were 2 really good quarterbacks that came here before you, and I'm not sure how many games they had in the postseason as good as that. What does that do for you going into this playoff game? Anything at all?
Yeah, I think
And much does that experience help this time around? You're still a very young team in relation to the rest of the league, but having 2 playoff games under your belts, how much does that matter? And just how different was the speed, the intensity, and how much can you really use that experience to your advantage?
Yeah, no, it definitely helps a lot. Gaining that playoff experience, having played in 2 playoff games with a lot of these guys in this locker room. So, it's playoffs. It's win or go home. You got to be able to go out there and execute and take advantage of every play. You can't really have mess ups and mistakes, and there's no do-overs in the playoffs. So I think this group understands that, and obviously we got some reps of that last year, but got to go out there and play our best ball.
Just the less momentum you guys have going in the postseason compared to last year, is that something concerning at all? Just that this offense has not looked their best maybe the last couple weeks?
No, does not concern me at all. We got to go out there and play our best ball Sunday. It doesn't. I mean, you could be undefeated going to playoffs and lose your first game. So, you got to be able to go out there and execute and be at our best.
What did your experience in Philly, filling in for Aaron a couple years ago, feel like? What was the crowd like that day? What did it feel like to have success in that atmosphere, and does that help at all? Yeah,
I'd say for me, having been there, played before, kind of helps you understand what kind of environment you're going into. So, it's a good fan base over there. It's a pretty cool stadium to play in, and it's definitely going to be loud. So we got to be able to prepare for that. We've played in, loud road games so far this season, so I think we'll be just fine. But it's a good environment to play in for sure.
Jordan, I guess I'm curious, when you're working with the receivers, trying to get that passing game, similar to where it was at the first of the year, is it more like in the meetings and conversations where you guys are trying to build that back, or is it more just on the field, like you guys just need to see it? I guess how's that balance?
It's everything. It's everything you do while you're in this facility. When you go home, the way we talk about concepts and how we install it, how we go run it in the walkthroughs, and make sure everybody's on the same page with the timing, and, just exactly how you run routes, things like that. And then it takes over at the practice field, and we're getting those full speed live reps at it. So, that comes down to just being at our best, being on the same page, and that's everything we do while we're here in the building.
Jordan, it's never just one thing when something's not functioning the way you want it. So have you kind of diagnosed what's been going on with the passing game the last several weeks? Like, what do you think you need to do specifically better to get it back to what it's been earlier in the year?
Yeah, we just got to go out there and execute. At the end of the day, we got to get in a rhythm early. I think that's really important. When you start a game, to be able to just feel like you're in that rhythm, feel like things are hitting, and obviously make plays early on. So I think if we get back in that rhythm and are executing at a high level, I think it makes it easier to go out there and play confident, play free. We just got to go out there and make plays at the end of the day.
You with your elbow and whatever, you had said the other day that your accuracy has been inconsistent. Do you feel like you can get back to being accurate too? And is it more footwork or whatever else that can get you there? It's not necessarily dependent on how your elbow feels, or what?
That's kind of the same thing I said earlier. Is it with that? It's everything. It's footwork, the timing of the plays, being on the same page with the receivers. Obviously, your fundamentals, throwing the ball. Make sure everything's on point. So there's a lot of things that play into that, but it comes down to just being locked into the details, being on point when you get out there in the game, and just going out there and doing the same thing you do in practice. Making sure everything transfers over to the game.
During your week of preparation, as each day goes on, by the time you get to Saturday night, are there things you see from the opponent say this might work, or here's something that we do really well? Like by the time it's Sunday, there's a dozen plays you say you're really excited about. You think that this could go. Is that the feeling you want to have on game day?
Oh, always. When we game plan plays, there's always, obviously coaches feel a certain type of way about some plays, and players might feel a certain type of way about some plays. So you go through the week, you practice this stuff against the scout team, see how it kind of comes to life. You have plays you feel really good about, and plays you might not feel as confident about, and then you go out there and play the game, and those plays you felt good about might not work the same as you thought it might. So you never know what play is going to be the one. What play might not be as good. So that's why you go out there and play the game. But there's definitely throughout the week plays you feel better about and plays you might not feel as good about. So.
Jordan, every week is obviously a new test, but just what's your level of confidence in how you guys can run the football?
Can run the football? I'm very confident. I think you look at what they have on that defense, and I think a big strength is their D-line and their front seven. So, that's their strength, and I think we've been running the ball as good as anybody, I feel like. So I'm confident in our run game. I think we ran the ball pretty well the first game we played them. I think there's some stuff that we still clean up, and there's going to be bigger runs out there and bigger explosive plays. But I think our run game is as good as anybody's.
Jordan, you look at the other offenses that made the playoffs in this conference. They all kind of have that guy that the quarterback can go to when he's absolutely got to have it. You feel like you're still trying to find that guy to go to when you absolutely need it, and how important, especially this time of year, to be able to develop that kind of connection?
Yeah, no, I think we have plenty of guys we can go to in crunch time. And, there's a lot of things that play into that in terms of play call and what route certain guys might be on. So matchups, things like that. But I'm confident that all these guys can go win if they're given a one-on-one matchup, things like that. But we got plenty of guys in this locker room that can go make plays, so I'm not worried about that.
Is it more for you just reading the defense and knowing the offense and knowing what's being given on the field than looking at specific matchups and wanting to target this specific matchup, more scheme of a matchup for you?
It really depends on what play, honestly. We have plays where it's it's a yes/no backside, and you might take that in consideration. Who's my matchup? Who do I got out there? Who do they have DB? Things like that. And then you have plays that is really just a progression play. You're reading it across the board, things like that. So it's all play dependent, and obviously coverage dependent what the defense look is.
You've mentioned the word confidence a lot of times. You have confidence this offense can do what it needs to do with the bright lights on now. After the way the last 2 weeks go, how do you drive that message home to your teammates as a leader that, hey, we are the team that won 11 games and we can do this? What's your message?
I mean, everybody knows in this locker room that we're that team. I don't think there's no secret about that. So I really think it's just blocking out all the outside noise, knowing who we have in this locker room. And like I said before, it's playoffs. It's 0-0. So who cares about the record? And I really think we have to be confident. You can't go in the playoffs with lacking that confidence because you'll get beat. So, we have one shot at this thing. I told everybody today we got, 5 days guaranteed left in our season. So just go out there, play free, everybody do their job, and just go out there and handle business, make plays. That's all we can do, and go win the game.
With that said, obviously there's no other point other than to be confident this time of year. But a year ago, winning your final three compared to losing your last two going into this playoffs, does it feel differently compared to a year ago when you went in?
No. No.
Jordan, how different is your playoff mindset? Is it much different than the way you prepared in the regular season?
No, it's not different at all. I mean, that was a message we talked about today as well. You can't really change much. You got to treat it like another day. If you make it a big thing, guys feel that pressure. So you got to go out there and just handle business. Prepare. Like I said, we got 5 days guaranteed, so prepare like this is all we got. We got one shot at this thing, so go out there, make plays, but we're confident, and we won't really be changing much in our preparation.
Jordan, Bo didn't get a ton of opportunities to the regular season, but we saw what he did last year. Malik had obviously the big catch the other day. How much can those two guys help you? I know you got other guys too, but how much can those guys elevate late in the year here and kind of be factors for you potentially?
Yeah, they can be big-time playmakers for us, for sure. Like you said, they haven't necessarily maybe got as many targets, things like that, just with other guys being here, being healthy. So now having Christian out, we'll need those guys, and I think they've proven before that they can step in and take advantage of that opportunity when they do. So we're confident in those guys, and they do a great job throughout the week, just staying ready.
They don't respect us. They don't know about our heart, man. That thing that's beating in your doggone chest right now. Whatever you got today,